I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
Very frantic call at 4 o'clock in the morning from a husband whose wife is now dying of liver failure on a ventilator in an ICU because she was trying to prove that Tylenol doesn't cause autism because of what Trump said on the news. Mind you,
before I was sent this video a couple hours ago. Actually, early this morning, Anthony B. Logan posted it before I could do a video. I did a live right after Trump made the announcement of the dangers for pregnant women of taking Tylenol. I immediately get on the interwebs and I see a lot of Black people and a lot of gay people. And the reason I say Black and gay is because not all the Blacks are going to be gay. They hate Trump because they're Black. When it comes to people that are white, they appear to be white, but they're not. They're gays. They get on the internet and they immediately start mocking Trump and start talking about how safe Tylenol is. I noticed this and I said, well, in my video, I said, we need to check the Center for Poison Control immediately to see how many people are going to be listed in the hospital for Tylenol overdose. Because I'm starting to see a lot of gay, liberal, white women putting a Tylenol bottle to their back of their head. Now, this is in a few hours. Now, you're not supposed to take more than 6, but if you hit the magic number of 12, you'll never have to worry about Trump ever again. You won't have to worry about racism. You won't have to worry about oppression. You won't have to worry about gender affirmation. You won't have to worry about anything. All your problems will just vanish if you fuck around and find out that trying to cut off your nose to spite your face is a bad idea. I specifically said there were going to be people immediately who will pass away from taking too many Tylenol in a 12-hour to 24-hour time span. For one thing, making these videos is not easy. People care about how they look. So if you do one take, no, I don't mean to laugh at people's mental disability, because TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, is a mental disability. You cannot think properly due to your hatred while you're screaming about his hatred. It's a mental illness. So, not to make fun of disabilities mentally, but say you're trying to make a video, right? And you're an amateur, you're using actual Tylenol, and you do one take, and you don't like the way your hair looks, your face looks, you're like, okay, I got to do it again. Then you do another take, then you're like, okay, the next one's going to be the right one. Then you do another one. So now you're at 9 Tylenol. Let's say at the minimum you're taking 3 per take. And then your friends come over, and you guys have joint. You guys have a joint infectious form of Trump derangement syndrome. So you guys want to do a joint video together, like a team sport, and you guys all on video tell Trump how much of an idiot he is and how dumb the president of the United States is and how incompetent the new NHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., how incompetent he is. So let me show you guys how wrong you are. None of you are pregnant. So the autism for your baby thing wouldn't make sense. They never said it gives autism to adults who are taking Tylenol. They just said it could help, it would develop your child, your unborn child, if you're pregnant. I'm seeing men making fun of this, saying, oh, I took Tylenol last night. Hopefully I don't catch autism. I'll be honest with you, you're likely on the spectrum if you're making those kind of jokes and you're not a pregnant woman. If you're a man or a woman and you're not pregnant and you're making these kind of comments, you're likely already on the spectrum. And that's how you can tell the difference between people. We're not all equal. Unfortunately, to help destroy our country, the vaccine schedule, which causes brain inflammation, started in the 80s. This has been a war against the men, against boys for a long time. Because after all, it would be men and boys who would be in our military that would be fighting against you. We've been under attack for a long time. And, people have to accept it. We haven't been in Kansas in a long time. We're deep in Oz. This is just an example of what I was talking about. It's sad to hear, but it's to be expected.
That's a Harvard study. Now, whether or not you believe the Harvard study or not is not the issue here. The issue is that she's somewhere between 23 to 25 weeks and she overdosed on Tylenol. And she's going to die. She's not going to come off that ventilator. And the guy got my phone number from somebody. Somebody gave it to him. I mean, guys, it's early in the morning. I'm still in Hello Kitty sweatpants.
You know what's funny? Whoever was mocking Trump and was hyping people up to go out and take these Tylenol, saying Trump's wrong, they just killed this woman. We would call that a 2-for-1. Now, personally, as a conservative, I believe in self-determination. I don't believe in people manipulating you or tricking you. I believe that as adults, it's up to you to have sound mind and body to discern information and make decisions for yourself. However, when you're a part of a collective and there's groupthink, like a hive mind, which is what the left is, and this liberal disability that these Democrats have, you're not allowed to think. Because if you think too much, you won't be a Democrat or a liberal anymore. Because you're not. That's why they don't want you to ask questions. And if you do ask questions, you're immediately kicked out of the cult and you're shamed because they can't answer questions. Just like when you ask them, yeah, you keep saying you lost your rights when Trump got back into office. Well, what rights did you lose? And they can never tell you because they know. They just don't want to say it because it's embarrassing. And that's the right to kids. That's what this is all over. But to hear that this woman is about to pass away with her unborn child, the propaganda machine just got a 2-for-1. Now, this is only one case. All over the country, there are women who are going to pass away tonight, who are on ventilators right now, who are in hospitals dying, and there's no way to repair the damage done by Tylenol. Just because you can go into a store and buy a product does not mean that you can't abuse it and that it's completely safe. Again, if you take more than 11 or 12 of these Tylenols, I don't care how easy it is for you to buy, you won't ever have to worry about a headache ever again for the rest of your life. And the fact that people think that these are just safe to just pop like they're candy, it just shows you how powerful the mass media propaganda behind Big Pharma and its products are, because you have zero idea how deadly and dangerous these products are that are on the shelves that you can just buy OTC. No one is none the wiser thinking that these are dangerous products that you should be careful with. Oh, I can just go into 7-Eleven and buy it. It must be safe. Like it's a Hot Pocket or something. Like you just go in there and just pop, 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 and you're okay. It's not how it works, my friend. But that just shows you mass media, mass funding from Big Pharma. People think you can just pop these like they're just Skittles and it's okay. I start thinking about how many people I've been to their homes and in their medicine cabinet, Tylenol. I'm like, how many headaches are you getting? And then you realize people just like to do drugs, drug addicts. Because you're not supposed to just pop Tylenol when you have a headache. You're supposed to find out the reason that you have a headache. You're supposed to address the reason. You're not supposed to be just popping these drugs, but it's like, were you popping them when you were pregnant too? Maybe that's why your son's in prison. Maybe that's why your son ended up doing something and, He's no longer with us. Your daughter's just fine. You know, it's crazy. The effects of these drugs with the brain swelling, it seems as if estrogen minimizes the effects of the swelling. And testosterone amplifies the effects because it's always the boys. It's always primarily the boys that are mostly affected by these chemicals inside their mother's bodies. And when they're taking the after the wellness visits, it's the boys for the most part that become nonverbal and have all the issues growing up and become autistic. And some gay kids in school will convince you maybe you're not autistic. Maybe the doctors are wrong. Maybe your problem and why you're having social issues is because you're trans or you're gay. And that's how they recruit your autistic child. If you look at the correlation between the spike in kids who think they're homosexuals versus the spike in children who are diagnosed with autism, they correlate.
My gym, trying to work out. And she's going to die. It's going to be, let me tell you something about Tylenol overdosing and death, is that if you aren't administered the antidote, it is a very slow and painful death, okay? Because Tylenol, as well as Benadryl and aspirin, are the three most common OTCs that people will typically try to unalive themselves with, so I don't get censored. But now people are just taking massive amounts of Tylenol to prove Trump wrong. I mean,
And she's absolutely correct. I'm thinking about the golden year of 2015. My ex-girlfriend was mad at me. I was having a party at my house. She seen some other chick that she thought that I like or I was dating. She came to my party and she goes into the bathroom and she takes some, I believe it was Benadryl, but it could have been Tylenol. And she took like 7. And that's how I knew she wasn't serious, because everyone knows the magic number is 11. But I don't think she was super serious. But eventually everybody's like, your bathroom, can we use the restroom? And I'm having a party. And I'm like, well, everyone's keep going to the restroom in my room. I have a guest bathroom. And I'm banging on the door. No one wants to answer. And I literally like forced my way into the bathroom. And here she is, sprawled out on the floor. Literally just drama. She was a drama queen, but there's like an open bottle of like Benadryl Tylenol laying next to her. And there's like a knife, and she's like sprawled out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is embarrassing at my party. But she's right. That is one of the most common ways that people, because it's easy to access. It's not like you got to go buy rat poison. See, if somebody's serious, they're going to go do something like that. But if you're doing it by mistake because you think it's candy and it's something you're doing on accident, those are the most common things that happen, the most common poisoning, because people assume that you can just go out and buy it, that it's accessible. Just because you can go into a store and buy water, it doesn't mean you won't drown in water. Water is good for you, but not in excess. And that goes with anything.
Aren't these the same people who put Harvard and Fauci and the pillars of science on a pedestal? I got a call, a very frantic call at 4:00 in the morning.
You know, it's crazy. I remember this woman. There was an organization called the Frontline Doctors of America. Actually, the Surgeon General of Florida right now, which is a man by the name of Joseph Ladapo, was on that committee. The Frontline Nurses of America came out after, and I do remember her face. And I'm talking about Dr. Simone Gold. There's a panel of people that came out and spoke to the American public in 2020 and said, there's nothing to be afraid of. Trump is correct. There are therapeutics. Do not take these injections. And you fucking drug addicts just couldn't wait to go shoot up. And now everyone's coming down with cancer and blood clots and heart attacks and just falling away. Mainly from the Black community, especially if you're from Los Angeles or you're from California like I am. You're watching all the Black community, just whole families, and no one's saying anything about it. You know what everyone's telling me? Overdose. That's what everyone's blaming everything, overdose. Well, okay. So they didn't overdose last year. They overdosed this. Okay. But There was something else they did like 2 years ago, right? We're gonna blame it on, the little bit of powder they sniffed and just, let's just say it was fentanyl. We'll just blame it on something else. Just easier to accept that way, I guess, right? It's hilarious because we called it. If you're a conservative, you support Trump, then you support the Constitution. You knew someone trying to force you to do something to your body, a irreversible medical procedure, was unconstitutional. I don't give a fuck what kind of job you have, you quit. Pizza Hut. I'd rather quit a job making $300,000 a year and go work at Pizza Hut and be alive than keep my job for another 2 years, die, they replace me, and then I'm gone. Then I don't even have the option where I can't even eat any pizza. I can't work at Pizza Hut. I'm dead. I'd rather just do something else. We all had to make these choices. The propaganda machine was strong. They told us that, it told me personally. I had somebody tell me, Rico, you're a grandmother killer. I said, really? I'm just out here killing grandmas. Well, then fight me. Whoop my ass. I'll take whatever you want me to. But that's the spirit. That's that American spirit. I'd rather fight than let someone tell me what I have to do with myself. But a lot of people lack that American spirit. It's been shamed out of them. You were told that if you're an American, you had a spirit of the American sense of your forefathers, of self-determination, if you believed in the Constitution, then you were a racist, Trump-supporting, bigot, blah. Bro, you can't shame somebody like me. You can go fuck yourself. We can fight. You really feel that bad about me? Put your hands on me. 50-50 odds is what I give anybody, even myself. I can lose. So it's like I said, a lot of this could have been avoided. These people now that are going to be overdosing over the next week, it could have been avoided. But is it a conservative's job just to drive around trying to save a bunch of idiot liberals every day, save them from themselves? It's not our job. It's not our responsibility. You guys want to do that with yourselves. The only issue we have as conservatives is that you're harming your kids with it. Like and subscribe, share the video. Right Wing Rico, the single boyfriend. I'll be back on another topic shortly. I got to go get some dog foods for my pups, and then I'll be back with some more episodes. Thank you.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.